Well, they took me to the hospital this morning. This place is filled with potential patients or those who have already been there. 2 years ago, when I moved in here, he seemed interested in reading the book by Bernstein on diabetes control. So I gave him the book, and in several days he hadn't really looked at it, so I knew then it was a waste of time to leave it with him. And if I wanted it back, I'd better get it back, so I got the book back. So finally it caught up with him. I've been in the med room from time to time when he had his blood tested. It would run 200, 250, sometimes over 300. But you can't do that to your system forever without it catching up with you, and it caught up with him. They say that it's easier to cure cancer than obesity. He was overweight. I would say it's easier to cure cancer than eating habits. You just want that food that you've eaten all your life and got you in the condition you're in. So he's around 70. So he went to the hospital today. It also proves, as far as I'm concerned, that the medical industry is nothing but a con game when it comes to diabetes. Well, there goes my shirt. Why do these doctors, if they're ethical, why do they keep treating these people knowing that it's hopeless? For instance, do they ever set them down and say, look, if you don't fix your eating habits, you're going to die soon? But no, they don't do that. They just keep giving them the old insulin and then go back to work, whatever it happens to be. But why do they keep treating them? Why don't they say, oh, if you don't do what's right, then I can't treat you? No, they want that money. But these walk for diabetes, all that sort of thing, is nothing but a con game. They already know what the problem is. Time after time, historically, whole societies are now diabetic who never knew what diabetes was until they started eating a white man's food. It's not the food that does it, it's just the overindulgence. So anyway, I don't know what's wrong with He went to the hospital today. Kay was not in a good mood today. She didn't seem to be hurting, but she has a pretty strong grip, especially if you got arthritis in your hand. If some squeezes those fingers, it can hurt, especially when you got a ring on it like that. And that she did today. I had to jerk my hand away and to keep from hurting it. I took her down after we'd been there for a few minutes. I took her down to the just in the second floor for guests, and sat there and talked to a couple for a little while. Then we went back up, and I didn't think they were going to have the exercises, although I had the room cleared out, and there was nothing going on, and maybe 9:45. So I got in the room, we lay there for a little while, and then at 10 o'clock they came in and said that the bus was here. Well, I told them I'll be down at 10:30. I wasn't going to cut my visit short because they will accommodate their schedule. So anyway, the driver went on back, came back about a little after 10:30. But it was a pretty good visit. She is, other than seemed to be, I was thinking that maybe pain was making her feel bad, but I don't know. We just had another one of those useless fire drills. Periodically, they turn on this screeching alarm, which is supposed to represent a fire or a fire drill. It's always a fire drill. They never tell us anything what we're supposed to do. They never get us together in the dining room and say, hey, when the fire drill, when this fire alarm goes off, here's what you're supposed to do. I asked a caregiver once what they do, and I can't remember now what it was, but it's pretty useless. All I think it is so they can put on the record that they had a fire drill. And this thing is so loud that I have to put my fingers in my ears to keep from ruining my eardrums. So I've been through many a fire drill, and a fire drill is you're supposed to do something. All it does is wreck your eardrums, and it's the biggest bunch of nothing I've ever seen. I've been to a lot of fire drills, schools, ships, work. I was on the fire team at the juvenile company. We do something, we try something, we drill. They never drill here. The people never come up on the floor and take someone out of the room and take them down the stairs. You're not supposed to use the elevator. So it's a big laugh. It must be just they're required to do it, so they do it. Say, we had a fire drill. Well, that's what I think about the fire drills. I did ask the person in charge of the events once, what should we do in case of fire? I wanted to know what they thought we should do. I know what I'm going to do, and it ain't staying in this building. She said, well, you get behind that fireproof door we got. And however, being in an apartment house, fires rarely start out in the hall unless some firebug starts it. The fires start in the apartment under you, or the apartment on each side of you, or perhaps the one on top of you. So that fire drill is going to do you a heck of a lot of good if there's a fire anywhere but right in front of that door. And I don't know how in this place they're going to have time to build a fire outside the fireproof door. It's not fireproof, it's fire resistant anyway. So that's my answer to it. I'm leaving. Well, Beep is back. What they did was give him another pill to control his heart some way or another. Of course, how many times you've seen people with bypasses and heart operations, all this stuff, and all it is very temporary. And it is going to be temporary as long as you don't change your habits. Same old thing, it's going to give you the same old trouble, and it's going to be not that long in the future, I suspect.